Yeah, beyond just looking beautiful, flowers are leading this incredible secret life. It's full of strategy, seduction, and survival. So let's dive in and uncover the secret life of flowers.
So what is a flower's ultimate purpose? Is it really just to add a splash of color to the world? Well, the answer is a whole lot more fascinating and, frankly, way more strategic than you might think. Let's peel back the petals and find out what's really going on.
Okay, first up, we've got to understand that a flower's beauty is absolutely not an accident. Nope, it's basically a highly evolved marketing campaign, a really deliberate strategy designed for one very specific purpose.
And what is that purpose? It's to get noticed. A flower's #1 job is to be so irresistible that it attracts all sorts of visitors. We're talking insects, birds, and other animals. Pretty much every single part of its design is geared towards this one crucial goal.
To do this, flowers have a whole toolkit at their disposal. So think of the brightly colored petals, that whole part is called the corolla, as the flower's giant, flashy advertisement. They're basically screaming, "Hey, over here, look at me," to any potential visitor flying by. And then you have the sepals, or the calyx. Now these are the unsung heroes. They're like the bodyguards that protect the flower when it's just a vulnerable, closed-up little bud.
But you know, sight isn't the only sense a flower goes after. Scent, well, that's its personal invitation. Flowers like roses and jasmine, they produce these strong, amazing smells to draw visitors in from far away. But then you have others, like a sunflower, that have almost no smell at all. They're relying completely on their big, bold visual look. It's all part of the strategy.
And all of this brings us to the big question, right? Why go through all this trouble? Why the bright colors, the beautiful smells? It's definitely not just to win some kind of beauty contest. There's a much, much deeper biological mission at play here.
You see, all that attraction, all that effort, it's all in service of one primary mission: reproduction. Yep, behind that beautiful exterior is a really sophisticated piece of biological machinery designed for one thing: making the next generation of plants. So what you're looking at here isn't just a flower. It's a full-on reproductive factory. The main parts are all organized into these 4 distinct rings, or whorls. We've already met the calyx and the corolla, the bodyguard and the advertisement, so now let's take a look at the actual machinery they're protecting.
First, we have the Androecium. This is the male part of the flower. It's made up of these things called stamens, and right at the tip of each one is the anther. That's what's responsible for making pollen. You know, that fine yellow powder that gets everywhere in the spring.
And then, right in the very center, we have the Gynoecium. This is the female part. It's got a sticky top called the stigma, which is perfectly designed to catch pollen. And down at its base is the ovary, which holds the ovules. Now these ovules are the key. They're the parts that have the potential to become seeds. Okay, so here's how it all comes together. First, the flower uses its flashy petals and its scent to attract a visitor, let's say a bee. As the bee is buzzing around collecting nectar, it gets dusted with pollen from the Androecium. Then, when that bee flies to another flower, some of that pollen gets transferred to the new flower's sticky Gynoecium. This fertilizes the ovules, which then develop into seeds, and they're often protected inside a fruit. And just like that, mission accomplished.
But hold on, the story doesn't end there. Beyond their own biological mission, flowers have a surprising number of hidden talents that have a huge, huge impact on our own lives.
I mean, just look at this incredible range. We eat them, like the banana flower, which is a vegetable, or rose petals and gulkand. We use them as spices. Saffron actually comes from the crocus flower. They give us medicine, like calendula for ointments, and of course perfumes from jasmine and rose. They even give us color. Hibiscus and marigold are used to make natural dyes. And of course we use them for decoration in garlands and bouquets. It's amazing.
And here is a perfect example of a hidden talent that might just blow your mind. You know the spice clove in your spice rack? Well, it's not a seed, it's not a root. It is literally the dried, unopened bud of a flower, a tiny little package of flavor just waiting to bloom. It really just goes to show you that flowers are so much more than just decoration. They are a source of our food, our flavor, our fragrances, and even our healing. They're deeply and fundamentally woven into the very fabric of our daily lives and our cultures.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? If a simple flower has this much going on, what other amazing secrets is the natural world hiding right there in front of us, just waiting for us to take a closer look?